What's going on? What is going on? Welcome back to CEO Lifestyle with yours truly, Smooth Blaze. Now, before we get into any major points for this week, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell, select all, so you will not miss one single video. Now, on this week, the topic that we discussed we're going to go previous first, was removal of users. What we talked about within that session was about people that are manipulative, that are disruptive, and that they destroy the vibe and energy that you have in order to get the things they want from you. So this week, we will be focused on perception is reality. Again, perception is reality. Now, to understand what perception is on a social side, you have to look at it as this. It is a process of observing and interpreting verbal and nonverbal cues from impression, understanding personality, and predicting behavior of others. You have to understand perception is everything. How people look at you, how people view you, from the dress to how you talk, how you carry yourself. All these go into one lump sum of what people expectations are of you. Now, here are some factors of perception that a person can have where you look at a person and they can identify these certain things. One, characteristics of a person being observed. It could be big, fat, small, whatever, dark skin, brown skin, white, whatever the race is. Those are characteristics that assume perception. Another thing would be the context of the situation. When you see a person that comes in off the street, let's say that he is coming in for a job interview, but he got a hoodie on, and you're going to a corporate office, people may get the wrong perception that maybe he's trying to do something, but in actuality, it may not be the case. As a CEO, you have to be able to identify those things. Personality traits. When you see similar personality traits of somebody that's very confident or somebody that's very passive, you may tailor or switch in a way where it can affect, not necessarily affect, but you can have an impression of somebody based off of what you've experienced from that certain trait. It could be a positive or negative experience, but people make perceptions off of that. Your past experiences. Let's talk about it. If you are a CEO of your life, which you are, and you're trying to put somebody into your business, when you look at a person's resume, based on the time frame when they worked there, why did they get left, are things that are going to affect your perception of them. Because if a person go from job to job, that means it shows maybe they might not be as reliable or loyal to the cause. So as a CEO, you have to understand how to look at that from a personal and also from a business perspective. Let's go a little bit more in detail with nonverbal cues. We always look at these things. It's just we don't really take the more deep index of what that actually means. Facial expressions. Let's say you talk to a person and you say something, they start frowning. You assume that they didn't like that. Or you have a facial expression where you just smiling, you saying something that may be degrading, but you're putting on a smile or putting on the face in order to get things done. Sometimes that could be misleading, which disturbs what? Your perception. Eye contact and gazing. When you give a person eye contact, it gives the affirmative, or it shows the affirmative that you are paying attention or you're engaged in the concept. If you're gazing or you looking all these other places, it may seem like one, you may not be interested, or that you really can't focus in or you got a short attention span. Those are not good. These are a positive example and a negative example. Now, you have to understand that the factors that destroy perception when you're in the business and non-personal, and you also understand the nonverbal communications. Finally, what you have to look at, that's the most essential thing, is what type of perception do you have and how you can improve it. Here are some examples of ways to improve your perception, because that is really how people look at you. You can never change your first impression. These are ways maybe if you are lacking or if there's ways where you have strength you can improve on. Y'all ready? Number one, learn how to read body language. When you're having a conversation, when you're interacting with people, when you come into a room and you feel when you feel that energy, you have to read how people perceive you. Because once you understand that, it can help channel and teach you what to say versus not what to say. Number two, practice active listening. Everybody understand the phrase, you got two ears for a reason, right? Meaning that you should listen twice as much as you speak. If you actively are listening to a person, you allowing them the information to go in, you soaking it in, and you regurgitating the information back out so they'll know that you're paying attention. That's very essential. Number three, beware of your own bias. Understand the room that you're in. That's why this is the key thing. If you're on your own people, you can kind of throw your biases just depending on the situation. But if you're in a group full of different types of persons and they have different views, different perceptions, you may want to channel in your own bias. If you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, hey, there are certain conversations you don't want to have in public. So you have to be able to identify those things and be able to move and say things that is not going to be offensive to one side or the other. Number four, work to understand what others people are saying. Meaning that it's not about how you perceive what a person says. It's about understanding what they said and why they said these things. When you understand the idea of their perception and yours, you can see the disconnect. But if you're able to understand those two items, it will bring so much clarity because you can see from their perspective and yours. And sometimes y'all might both be correct. You just have to understand their perception of you or the perception of what they think. It does not make them a bad person or a good person. It's just the way their mind works. And number five, embrace empathy and sympathy. Let's just be real. There are things that happen in people's lives, and there are times where you may not understand what a person is going through. It could be a death in the family. It could be a loss of job. It could be just the idea of not having their mind to make sound decisions. You have to have empathy and sympathy for people, because if you show that you care, that you show and present that it's genuine energy, people's perception of you will be, oh, this is a person that's caring. If you become or show that you're more nonchalant about what other people are going through, the perception of you may switch in a way that won't be pleasing for your reputation. So we have went through nonverbal cues, how to improve your perception, and the effects of perception. Now that we understand all these, here's a few questions you must ask yourself. Number one, are you concerned of how people perceive you? Are you concerned with how people perceive you? Number two, in what ways can you improve on your perception? We all have things that we got to work on, strengths, weaknesses. Let's be honest. What can we do to improve it? It could be facial expressions, the way we talk, the way we look, the way we carry ourselves. What can we do to improve? And lastly, this is going to be a soul-searching time. Should I avoid change on how I am perceived? Meaning, if I know I need to change something, should I actually change it, or should I stick to what's comfortable for me? Those three questions are essential to being an effective and efficient CEO in your life. Your perception is your reality. Your moral compass matters. Your character and your values matter. So understand all these things, and your perception and reality is very essential to all aspects of life. You'll never get a second chance on a first impression. So as we close, I would like to thank you for checking out my channel. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, select all so you will not miss one single video. Now, before we close, just remember this simple phrase. We cannot control the hand that was dealt for us, but we can move with intention and purpose. Welcome back to CEO Lifestyle with Smooth Blaze, and I am signing out. Peace and love.